A day after this quarantine worker in Melbourne tested positive, authorities still don't know how he caught the virus. Now, they know he caught it, they say, in the Grand Hyatt Hotel where the tennis players and their entourages are. But how did he get it if the Premier says, looking at the CCTV, he didn't breach any of the health protocols? Quite a lot of theories around today from experts. Some might surprise you. So I'm joined now from Sydney by the Head of Clinical Research at the National Centre for Immunisation Research and Surveillance, Professor Robert Booy. Robert, thank you for your time. This has become a bit of a mystery. The government says it may have moved through the air. Some are not so sure about air conditioning, ventilation and things like that because it's usually from one room recirculated right across a hotel, unlike, say, an apartment block where it stays inside an apartment. One of your colleagues, Professor Peta Credlin, says perhaps we should be thinking about eyes. You know, is the virus coming in through eyes? Do we need better eye protection? What do you think?
I don't think we need to go that far. When we look at the last few months, there have been many thousands of people in hotel quarantine, and there's been only isolated examples here and there of people catching infection. So in the main, the system is working. People are generally wearing masks and wearing them well, but what we need to do is keep up the training, the practice of doing very good social distancing is really important. To simply explain, if you're 1 metre apart, in a cubic reference point, doubling that to 2 metres reduces by 88% the amount of volume that particles going through the air are distributed through. So that's why 2 metres or more is fantastic. So in hotel quarantine, it works well. There's hardly any examples, and I don't think this is a cause for panicking. In hospitals where people are coughing, you wear PPE, that's personal protective equipment, masks, gowns and gloves. Also you can even have visors over the top. That's because if you're coughed on and you touch your eye with your fingers, which are contaminated, you could cause infection, but not in hotels. Maybe if you had a hotel where people are symptomatic, you could have more PPE. But masks generally work very nicely, and they do prevent or they minimise the chance of respiratory droplets passing through the air.
Okay, but let me just jump in.
We're doing a good job.
If this gentleman did all the right things, and the CCTV, bears that out, so the Premier says if he did all the right things, if it was masked, he was wearing PPE, how did he get it? Because clearly he's got it. And even now that he's got it, how do they not know how he got it? Because there's also another hotel in Victoria, an issue that came out a couple of days ago, 2 different groups in different rooms who it looks like, again on CCTV, didn't have any interaction, have both got what looks like to be the same strain. Again, there are growing concerns like SARS in a couple of cases in Hong Kong, moving through ventilation systems. Is that fair? Is that maybe a consequence of these new mutant strains?
I don't think it's a consequence of the new mutants. They're a bit more transmissible, somewhere between 30 and 50%. The measures we're taking are effective. The examples you gave, I'll have to deal with them one at a time. I understand that on the same floor, people open their door at the same time, and so they're able to breathe or even to speak and spread respiratory droplets. It's not a mystery. Respiratory droplets are the cause of the virus spreading, so that's not a mystery. But what is a concern is we don't always find out, but if we match them up genetically, we can make a pretty fair assumption that there must have been some contact, and through the ducts, through the ventilation, is certainly one possibility. And Hong Kong, it wasn't a couple of cases, there were a multitude of cases, not only between rooms but between floors. And so ventilation is important, and maybe that's something to look at in the future with...
Right.
Go on.
I know, I'm just winding up, so that we'll have to look at ventilation. I would hope when they all get together in Canberra tomorrow, it's something that's on the table, absolutely, at least with the health experts. Professor Robert Booy, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.